Good afternoon, everyone. All right, let's just dive straight into the Bitcoin chart. We'll do a quick review of where we're at as of last week and the key levels to the upside and the downside. I think marking out all these daily candle highs is always important. A really simple way of looking at the chart. There's some other confluences here too we'll go over, but this is a very simple way to mark out key levels, potential liquidity grabs, sweeping those highs and rejecting. But last week we got this move down, we consolidated. I did take a scalp long here. I was actually on a live stream right here, so if you go look at my last live stream on the 15th of June 2023, I talk about what my thoughts were there and why I took that long. I've taken profits off it twice. I don't have a lot of it left. I did just take a short here. I'll explain why. But first I want to just go through this move up really quickly and why I'm still leaning more bearish. Well, first I'll just talk about some of the confluences here for resistance. There's a parallel channel that's quite clean. There's a clear trend line as well. Right, that's very obvious. We've got some clean fibs here. We've got the sweep of the daily highs. Lots of nice technical resistance here. From an order flow perspective, which we'll hop over to now, the higher time frame order flow here is decidedly bearish, in my opinion. CVD is making much higher highs, price is making lower highs, although just barely. As we were grinding up here, I had taken an initial short up here. I won't go into the reasons why, but I closed out that short at a slight profit because we were developing pretty extreme local bullish absorption. So you can have these cases where there's bearish absorption on a high time frame, but on a low time frame there's bullish absorption. So that just means price is more likely to impulse up into this liquidity, right? Keep squeezing out some shorts, trapping some longs potentially. And again here over the weekend, bearish absorption. We get a move down, but we did get some local bullish absorption forming. And just to kind of, let's just go here. So here over the weekend, first this was me saying, hey, I'm closing this short early. Price can do anything from here, but no sense in sitting in a short with this forming into the weekend. And what I mean by this is, of course, this bullish absorption. Cutting as a slightly better than break-even short for now as we consolidate into the weekend with bullish absorption locally. So, of course, we get that impulse off the bullish absorption a little bit after I close my shorts. And so I'm just saying I'm waiting out the weekend, basically. That's my updates. Just keeping an eye on order flow, but saying, hey, I'm going to wait out the weekend. This is what bullish absorption would look like. For now, we have bearish. Bearish absorption plays out. We have a nice local rejection. I say I'm not going to short down here. Just checking the charts. And I'm going to personally wait for another retest of the range high. So that was yesterday. As we start getting a move towards the range highs, I say I'm looking for a sweep and a rejection at the range highs. So I'm not taking the short yet. I'm waiting. And then here I've taken the short. It's always funny. Chat's pretty funny. But people in here speculating I must be a market maker or work at Bybit, because as soon as Lucky says he's in a short, then that's when it dumps. This happens every time. Either way, he is more of a whale than he admits, or generally works at Bybit. So I can confirm this every time. Truthfully, it's not every time, but I'm pretty consistent enough to raise questions. So if we look at order flow here locally, we can see that this move up was primarily a short squeeze. 30 million volume, 15.8 million, 6.9 million positive delta, 6.4 million positive delta, decrease in open interest. So squeezing out shorts, that's what I was waiting for. That's why I was patient down here. I wasn't going to short this initial rejection, wait for that another leg up to take those highs. I took the short around here, price broke down. Now we're consolidating, a little bit of a bounce, but we're starting to form some local bullish or bearish absorption rather. So happy to play this short, see what happens. The key levels I'm looking at to the downside are to come in and retest these lows. That's always an important idea, where you have defined lows, you have a deviation, an impulse, and a retest. On a high time frame, I still believe that order flow looks quite bearish. Excuse me. Order flow looks bearish. And I'm expecting lower. This is a key level for me. A key pivot low to take. There's a nice fib there. Interested to see how much volume comes in. This has been a target for me for quite a while, well over a month. And so, I've been shorting price down, shorting all these rallies down to this level. I'm short again. Obviously, I've gotten some profits off of it, but wanting to hold these shorts down, lower. So anyways, this is a key idea for me to come and sweep this low. Now, I'll say that there's some aspects about order flow that looks so bearish that I'm a little skeptical about this target holding. But if I get a nice clean reaction, that's a level I'm looking to long for a bit more of a swing trade, and finally get that move up maybe to take out all these highs from there. Of course, that can happen at any time. There's no way to know what price is going to do. I'm willing to take shorts at resistance, longs at support. I do have a bit of a long from there. If we get bullish absorption coming down to these lows, I'll be willing to look for longs more locally. If order flow doesn't look particularly good, I'll wait for lower. And if we do get a really nice reaction off of here and a lot of volume coming in, a lot of longs liquidated and stopped out with a nice impulse, I'd like to hold a long right through to the highs of the range and ultimately take out this high. If we break down this level, well, there's clearly not a lot of structure below here, right? This is a pretty structureless void, and so I'd be skeptical about longing anything in here. The only level I'd be interested in beyond taking this low would just be this SR flip, this old high, this low, come down and tap this level. There's a bit of confluence here. We have this. We have some high volume areas. We have the POC just underneath, and we have some fibs right around there. So this would be an important level for me if we break down here around 21,500. But first we have to get through this level, which I think is important. It's worth noting that if we do come down this low, we have a pretty obvious trend line here that we will be breaking down. A lot of people will view that as quite bearish. One of the reasons I like the idea of coming and taking this low is, I kind of like this idea of coming and testing the trend line, breaking it. People get really bearish, shorting the breakdown, and then seeing that impulse back up. But we'll see what happens. Just keeping an eye on order flow, just trading with risk management at key levels, being patient, waiting for setups. Can't win every trade, obviously. But usually order flow gives hints and clues if it's a good idea to take profits or get out of a position earlier than planned. But for now, happy to be looking for more downside, but willing to consider some strength if we start claiming these levels. If we claim this level, well, probably going to test this level. If we claim that level, then probably going to test this level. As of now, it's not looking particularly likely. We have that classic BART price action happening here. So we'll see how it plays out, but I'm currently looking for lower as long as we're holding this as resistance.